Hi, everybody. It's Lindy again. What can I say? These are just talky videos, huh? I need to do something more interesting. Well, I am going to tear out the van. My son has a Go camera, something like that, and because he used to do videos, so he's going to loan it to me, and because I'm gonna be sawing in the van and doing all kinds of stuff in the van and changing it around because I want to put a air conditioner in, and I want to put the 2000 back in, and I'm building spots for it, and just rearranging, making more room and making it more convenient for me. So I will be doing that. But the other thing, so there'll be more videos of the van and how I live in it, and what I'm doing with it. Um, but I've had a lot of questions about, do you travel? Um, or do you plan on traveling? Well, here's the facts of my life. I have driven across country round trip 7 times. 3 of those times, I took a month going each way. I stopped just about every state. I followed dirt roads, the signs that said garage sales or something of interest or historical. I've seen a lot of the United States. I've done a lot of traveling. That's just 7 times driving. I've flown cross country many times on business, in small little towns like in Michigan and um, where is it? I saw the guy who invented the light bulb, Edison, his home, and I mean I've seen so many historical sites because I'm very much into history. I'm very much into seeing the states, meeting the people. We're all alike and yet we're not. Everybody has a different lifestyle, different thought process, but it's very similar. We're all Americans. Um, so I wanted to kind of give my opinions of the different states, and I thought that would be kind of interesting. So and why I live in California, and I will tell you that my best friends, I've had several, all from Delaware or Pennsylvania. Delaware's a beautiful state right on the ocean. Love the state of Delaware. Love the state of Pennsylvania. It's all green and hills. It's beautiful. Love the state of New York. I've been to New York City. It was fine, whatever. Saw the Statue of Liberty, took a boat ride out there. Um, but I went up into northern New York and saw some people up there for vintage clothing and antiques and stuff. These are all trips for looking for antiques and vintage clothing. Beautiful, beautiful. Just a wonderful place. Niagara Falls is beautiful. I mean, I could go on and on. Uh, I did not get to Maine, which I would love to do. Did not get to New Hampshire, and I did not get to Massachusetts. And I used to have a friend in Massachusetts, but she's passed away. And 2 years ago, my last friend passed away in Delaware. So I really don't have any family or friends alive anymore back east. I like back east. There are many, many beautiful states. Virginia, oh, I love Virginia. Um, just so many states out there. Virginia, I think of cherry blossom time. Washington, D.C., I didn't care for that much. I didn't. I drove into it and then I kind of just drove right back out. I just didn't like the city. Don't know why. Um, but Florida, hot and lots of bugs. It was okay, but hot and lots of bugs. Of course, I went there in July, so it wasn't the most popular time. Alabama and I think of Alabama and Swampy and the different mansions, beautiful mansions in Alabama and Mississippi. Same as Alabama to me, kind of. They're very similar. Beautiful land. I think the United States is absolutely beautiful, and you can go from one end to the other, and it's so different. So um, I like the beaches on the eastern shore, and I like the beaches on the western shore. So I could go on. Utah is hot and rocks. I think of Utah as rocks, and Arizona as hot and flat. A lot of flat. Just a lot of hot. New Mexico, hot, flat. And Texas, I love Texas. I have a lot of family still alive in Texas, which I've said I want to go to Texas. That's on my bucket list before I pass, to go to Texas again. And it's all different kinds of atmosphere or whatever. Houston is nice. San Antonio, I just loved. Austin is okay. It's a college town. Dallas and Fort Worth are okay, but my family's. Oh, I have one brother in Houston and some family in Houston, and then I have a sister about 90 miles east of, west of Waco, Dallas Fort Worth, about 90 miles south. Kind of central Texas. Really nice area, small towns, 2,100 people when I lived there, you know, 60 years ago, and 2,100 people now, maybe 2,200. Very small towns. But so, Oregon, very nice place, very, very nice state. I'm talking about the land. The people I met were always nice. I did have family members, a lot of family members living in Oregon. I've lost touch, so I don't know where they are now. I do know I had a brother that had cancer, and he did move supposedly to Florida, but I haven't heard family. I don't keep up with all the family members because I don't, as we all do. I have a large family, 13 brothers and sisters, including step and half, and some I get along with, some I don't. Um, None of them I've lost yet. We're all still alive, but we all don't talk to each other all the time. So it's you know, it's just what it is. Then, but California's my state. Always been my state. It was never got too hot, but since 2016 we've started having heat waves. It's not going to get any better anywhere else, I don't think. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. So I could go on about the states and my views, and I might later on. But I did plan on traveling. That was my intention. As I told you, I lived in a van for 2 years on a KFC parking lot. I worked there for 2 years. They let me live there. I had a bed, a bucket, and a place to hang my clothes. That was it. That was before I ever saw Bob Wells. And I liked it. I liked it. I was very comfortable in it. It was a Mazda minivan. I was okay. It wasn't a problem for me. Not even in the summer. I had no heat, no air, nothing. I had a little fan. That was it. I had nothing in that van. I had a storage units, because I planned on getting an apartment. It took me 2 years to build up enough money to get a place of my own. But I always talked about doing it again in a bigger van because I really liked it. And 2013, I went online and found Bob Wells and continued to talk about it. I would have loved to have met Bob Wells at that time before he became so famous. Now, people just fawn over him, so I don't. It would be nice to meet him, but it's okay. I don't really care one way or the other. I would have loved to have met Camo Dave. He's one of my favorite people. There's a lot of YouTubers I've watched over the years. Um, Carolyn R.V., I started watching her when she started, and then it got to be too much for me, so I stopped. I can just, all the famous ones I've watched. As I said, I've been on YouTube since 2013 watching nomads, watching people do this lifestyle and envying them because I wanted it. I wanted to do it. I always wanted to do it. And I have my opportunity now. And I did plan on traveling, but not a lot. I never planned on traveling a lot because I've traveled so much. I did want to go see Courtside. There were a lot of nomads I would have liked to have met. I still do, but not purposely. I'd like to just see Courtside. I might have driven past it and wouldn't have known because I've been on that road many, many times. but I'd like to stop and see it just because, it's famous now. And I can say, oh, I went to courtside, but I don't really care if I do or not. So, my main purpose is living in the van. I am a van dweller, not a nomad. I am a van dweller. I like living in a small space, and this is where I am. I do plan on traveling. I'm hoping I have enough money next year to pay for the gas to go to Texas and come back. It's going to cost a couple $1,000s in gas, just gas alone. And hopefully nothing happens to the van or I don't break down or whatever. You know, you have an expense. I'm looking at 3 or 4 thousand, I think, just to go there and come back. And I expect to take a month to do that. I'm not a, I don't rush through places. I don't just drive through. I stop. I stop in every state. I want to meet the people. I want to just look around. If there's something famous there or well known, I want to see it. If it's a cave or a rock formation or whatever it is. So I've seen a lot of the United States, a lot of the parks. Never knew about BLM land. Wouldn't have mattered because I wouldn't have, always did it in a car and stayed at motels. So, but that's a different world now. Now I don't know that I would ever want to be in a motel again. But just to answer your questions about will I travel again, maybe one time, maybe twice, I don't know. Will I interview other nomads? Sure, if they want me to. I'd like to, but I'm not a good YouTuber. You can tell. See, I just talk. Um, Maybe if I had better equipment, I could do better things. Like I said, my son's going to loan me a camera so I can show you when I tear this place up. But other than that, I'm just a van dweller. I just live in my van. I live on the street. I don't live on anybody's property. Um, I don't know that anybody would let me live on their property. I don't know anybody who has property I can live on. Everybody rents that I know. Or they have short driveways. Out here, you don't have any, you're side by side your neighbor, so land is very precious. I live in parking lots and on the public streets. Don't mind. I have my favorite streets. I have my favorite parking lots, and I tend to go to them mostly. And people just to me and hi, well, honk or wave. I don't know them from Adam. They don't know me, but they know I'm always there. So I try not to stay more than 2 or 3 days a week in each place, but it's still every week, 2 or 3 days. I'm not adventurous whatsoever. Used to be, but I've done it. I've had my adventures. I've had my time. And I just want to live in my van. So I hope that answered your questions and some of your questions. And I'll see you next time, and you take care of yourselves. And have a good day. Camo.